Konnichiwa, minasan. It's great from Makazashi's Tea House over in Japan. How are you doing? You good? Are you genki? I'm great. I'm psyched up. I just read a fantastic issue, a fantastic comic. This is what it is. It's the new issue of Nemesis Reloaded by Mark Millar and Jorge Jimenez. Issue 3 dropped yesterday, Wednesday, March the 15th, and it's $3.99 from Image Comics. I tell you, just look at the cover for a start. It's a like kind of apocalypse now moment, isn't it? With Nemesis like coming out of the water. Look at the gun, you can see there with the silencer on the end. Tell you, man, this comic was a blast, an absolute blast. There's almost too much going on. If that's the one criticism I could make. There's so much crammed in here. It just makes other comics I'm reading at the moment like pale, in insignificance in comparison to it. There's fantastic action scenes, all drawn by Jorge Jimenez. He's on fire in this. As good as or better than the art he was putting into the Batman failsafe arc, if you remember that. Some of the action scenes where they flow, where they move, it's fast, it's furious. It flows like just beautifully. Really good art. Great use of perspective. His panel breakdowns are just... What can I say? Next level stuff, next level. Wait till you see the art. I'll show you inside. Speaking of that, let me show just one brief example, but this just doesn't cover it, doesn't really give you a full idea. This is one page inside, but look at that. There's no dialogue, it's just a sound effect, and you've got the sense of movement. Nemesis there, throwing one of his nightsticks. Is it a nightstick? That's Judge Dredd, isn't it? One of his short sticks, his Tambo, taking out somebody in here in this issue. But yeah, so good. We also get more of a view into his younger days. We get a flashback to when he was training, and it's is so intriguing too. There are hints at like secrets and a kind of conspiracy to do with a president that we never even heard of. It's so good. Yeah, huge recommend. I would say if you're not reading this series, I not beg you, but I would really wholeheartedly recommend you go out and buy it. Catch up. There's only been 3 issues and this one just came out, so go and grab the other 2 if you can and read it and just revel in the fantastic storytelling, the gorgeous art by Jimenez. Yeah, it's a huge recommend, but be careful. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's Mark Millar, and you kind of know what he brings to the table. So yeah. So okay, before I start waffling off on a ridiculous, like celebratory, huge positive waffle, I'm just going to say, please keep watching. I'll give you a story summary, and beware, there will be slight spoilers in here, but I do not spoil the ending. Okay, please keep watching. Here we go. We open with a thrilling action scene that picks up right where the last issue left off. Nemesis and the chief of police are plummeting toward the ground. In his best Batman impersonation, Nemesis fires a grappling hook through a high-rise window. The 2 men swing through the air towards the high-rise. Mayor Costello is watching all this from a circling chopper. He looks on in disbelief as Nemesis smashes through one of the high-rise windows, police chief in tow. I gotta say, this is all drawn like a dream by Jorge Jimenez. Seriously, the art and panel progression is of the finest, highest caliber. It's an exciting and flowing action scene. Next, we hear from one of the elitists who were robbed at the party in issue 1. He's leaving town, he's venting down the phone at Mayor Costello. I regret backing your political campaign. You now have 2 dead police chiefs in 24 hours. So he thinks the chief has been killed. Mayor Costello is then told that Eddie Ramirez is on the line for him. It turns out the mayor's been trying to contact Ramirez. What is their connection, and how does Nemesis fit into all this? Mark Millar's storytelling has me totally invested in this story. Eddie Ramirez is on a police boat investigating a distress call they received. On his call to Ramirez, the mayor is talking about the possibility that Nemesis is targeting our old crew. He tells Ramirez to be careful, something doesn't feel right. The next moment they discover the police chief tied to a buoy floating in the water. He's alive, but he's trying to warn Ramirez that it's a trap. Too late! I'm over here. Nemesis appears on the edge of the boat. He has tranquilized the other officers. He stands there calmly and he tells Ramirez to cut the engine and gives the boat's captain a chance to aim and shoot. I want you to see how fast I am. Tuck! Ramirez managed to get a shot off, and you see it's hit Nemesis in his cape, but he wasn't fast enough. Nemesis has thrown 1 or 2 short sticks, they look like tambour weapons, and it's knocked the captain out. He's down on the deck of the boat, nose pouring with blood. Wake up, Ramirez, we haven't got all day. Nemesis has handcuffed the police chief and Captain Ramirez to the boat. What's wrong with the boat? Is it sinking? You bet your ass it's sinking. So here we've got Nemesis. He seems to know who they are because he calls Reggie, the police chief, by his name, and he talks about when he was a young cop he was in good shape. Then he asks him the question we've all been waiting for. Do you know who I am? The police chief says no, but then Nemesis gives them a hint. He tells them that their actions caused the death of his parents, and that's something a young boy would never forget. It sounds like his parents were framed for the murder of 9 hitchhikers. Oh Jesus, says Ramirez, as the recollection dawns on him. Nemesis gets picked up by one of his boats, and they head off towards the shore of the city. His plan is to take things to the next level. Let's cut the power. To what? The entire city. Next we get another flashback to Nemesis' training days when he was young. One of the trials he talks about was to climb to the bottom of one of the darkest pits you can imagine. He says he can't remember how long it took, but when he got to the bottom, his master was waiting there, and his master told him that he held the world's biggest secret. We see a book being passed to the young Nemesis. He's told to read it, but this book can never leave the chamber, and he only has as long as the candle is burning to read it. What's it about? The title of the book is A White House in Crisis by President Edward Gerald Marshall. The master reveals it's the memoirs of the president everyone's forgotten, the one between Jimmy Carter and Ronald Reagan. I don't know about you, but I want to read this book. I'm dying to know what the secret is. There's a key in the book, and then young Nemesis asks the master, how does the world forget a president? He's told that's the riddle he has to solve. Okay, then we skip back to the main story to present day, and we see what looks like a city on fire. Chaos has erupted because Nemesis and his gang have cut the power to the city. There's a comment here about what happens when you lose the lights and the phone signal for just a few hours. It's absolute madness and chaos. The National Guard roll in, but Nemesis doesn't seem to care. Okay, they might have got him outgunned, but he's got them outclassed. Hold your fire, this is the enemy speaking. And then he gives them 30 seconds to lay down their weapons or they're all gonna be wiped out. What's he talking about? We've got tanks back here. Okay, I don't want to spoil the ending, so I'm going to end the story summary here. Okay, I really hope you enjoyed that review as much as I did making it and reading the comic. I tell you, I'm reading it again after I've finished this and get it uploaded. Such a good issue. Okay, we have a preview of the next issue's cover. Nemesis Reloaded issue 4 comes out on the 12th of April, so not too long to wait. And I want to show something else. There's an advertisement for an upcoming series, which I think this drops at the end of the month. I think it's the end of March it comes out, but this is sounding really good. Not only because it's got Frank Quietly on art as one of the artists for this series, and it's another mini-series, but yeah, listen to this. The Ambassadors. 8 billion people, 6 can have superpowers. Who do you choose? So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I say I'm making a concerted effort this year to support Mark Millar's writing. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed my review. Please drop me a comment, let me know what you think of this issue. Are you reading the series? If not, what are you doing? Go out and buy it right now because it's amazing. Don't take my word for it. Have a scroll through some of the reviews. I'm sure people are singing its praises, but I guess because it's, it's Mark Millar and it's Image Comics, maybe it's not getting as much press as it should be. Okay, let's see if we can change that. Go out and buy a copy yourself, and then you put out a video, a review, or a blog review or something about it. Let's get the word out. Okay, as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in a future video. This is Gray from Wakazashi's Tea House, still wearing my work shirt because I can't even talk. Got home not too long ago, and I've been trying to get this out and get it done before I've got to get dinner ready. Oh, blah blah blah. He wants to hear about my night. So, thanks for watching. See you soon. Matane.